Mic check. If you'll say and spell your name for me.
Austin Smith, Austin, Smith, S-M-I-T-H.
Okay, and what is your company name and what position would you like us to use?
Smith's Honey Farm co-owner.
Okay.
All the audio and everything sounds good?
All right, ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. All right, Mr. Smith, can you give us a little background on how your business and company came to be?
So, Smith's Honey Farm was actually started by my father in 2001. What was supposed to be a hobby. And hobbies don't bode well with the Smith family, so it turned into a full-time beekeeping business. And we are commercial beekeepers now. We run about 2,500 colonies, close to 2,500 colonies, and I was teaching at Jones County Junior College until 2017 full-time, and I left Jones County Junior College in 2017 to come home and explore my passion in beekeeping, make it a full-time job.
Amazing. What type of products do you have and offer?
So, of course, we have various honeys. We've got, you know, the typical wildflower honey that we sell. We've also got some specialty honeys like our hot honey and a creamed honey that we make. There's a few places around that have our comb honey, you know, but that's our honey products we have. But we also, in addition to selling honey, we sell nucleus colonies, or beginner colonies to beekeepers in the spring of the year, and we also sell queens to beekeepers in the spring of the year. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. So how do you decide where you want to sell your products?
Well, sometimes it's by who will take us, and sometimes it's by who requests us, and sometimes it's by just, you know, going and knocking on doors, you know, and doing it the old-fashioned way, beating the ground, you know, from door to door. But you know, I think I told you this whenever we first talked, is when Dad was trying to build a route to sell his honey on. You know, he would literally load it up in the back of my mother's Buick LeSabre, you know, and he would, you know, in the trunk of the car, the back seat of the car would be full of honey, and the trunk would be full of honey. You'd go around and, you know, and sell it to grocery stores. One of the first major retailers that we got into several stores with was the Roberts Company several years ago. Of course, Sincerely Grocery is a little newer in Hattiesburg, and I had reached out to Rebecca whenever I first heard that the Sincerely Grocery was coming to downtown. I was like, I'm so glad to see a grocery store coming to downtown Hattiesburg. You know, this is like, they need this. And I was like, well, I want to, and I'd like to be a part of this, you know. So I told her, I said, you know, there is local familiarity with our product. We've been out here doing this for a little while, and I think that it would do well for you, you know, because while we do have name notoriety, we also have the local honey that people oftentimes look for, you know. So, and it seems to be doing very well for her there, the short time that she's been open.
What feedback have you gotten since selling your products at Sincerely?
It's all been positive feedback. You know, everybody seems to enjoy it. They're obviously buying it and using it, and they're calling for more of it. So yeah, we're getting very good positive feedback from what business we're doing with them.
Awesome. Morgan, I wanted to know, since you told her that you usually don't participate in farmers markets like the Hattiesburg one, is there a reason behind that?
Time, T-I-M-E. There's only so many of me, and I just don't have the ability to chase that. I want to leave some opportunity for some of the smaller beekeepers in the area to be able to market their products. So, you know, we have a lot of some of the larger businesses in town and some of the other, you know, locations in town, but I still want to give an opportunity for beekeepers to be able to sell their honey. So I call it friendly competition.
What are some of the bigger local stores that you sell to?
Corner markets in the Hattiesburg area, Country Time Fruit Stand up on Highway 49, Shady Acres up towards Seminary. Let's see, Ramey's about every Ramey's that's around in little small towns. Summerall, Monticello, Brandon, Mississippi, Purvis, you know, all around. Rouse's on the coast and over into Mobile. And then we've got several locations in Jackson, corner markets, grocery depots, things like that. Mm-hmm.
Is there anything important you would like to add about your company or your passion in it or anything like that?
You know, beekeeping is you have to live the bee life. You have to work with the season of the bees. You can't tell the bees what to do. You just have to respond to what they tell you they're going to do. And you know, it's not something that you just wake up one day and say, I think I want to be a beekeeper and be successful at it. You really have to have a passion for it to be successful in this. You know, this is not a thing where you're just going to go from rags to riches by any stretch of imagination. It requires, as anything else is successful, blood, sweat, and tears, and sometimes multiple times over.
For everybody that doesn't know, when is actual bee season and biggest production for honey?
So in South Mississippi, the biggest production really starts somewhere around April 10th, April 15th with things like privet hedge, blackberry, tulip poplar, and then we go on into the May with things specifically tallow trees. That's a major honey plant in South Mississippi. And then pretty much in South Mississippi, it really kind of hits the brakes about the end of June, the 1st of July. And then we go on to, are able to take some of our bees onto some other production areas in North Mississippi, and it just depends on what our needs are. But in South Mississippi, though, your really time that you really have bees are able to forage surplus nectar and turn that into honey is going to be from about mid-April through the end of June, the 1st of July. Mm-hmm.
You know, we talk a lot about community with farmers, with these local business owners, like Sincerely Grocery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what does that sense of community mean for you and your business?
You know, I could break it all the way down to the community of beekeepers that we have, you know, to be able to work together, rely on each other, kind of work, if I'm trying to understand what's going on with my bees, or if I've got a problem, I can rely on that to talk to another beekeeper. But, you know, then as far as our customer base, I mean, it's nice to have people that we know that have been using our product for many years. You know, see families come up and say that, you know, they had Smith honey at when they were younger, or they have Smith honey at at their home now, or we have people that are from here. And I mean, I've got one person I know particularly, I think off the top of my mind, that she's from here, but she's in Texas and she wants Mississippi honey. So she always contacts me, you know, please send me some more Mississippi honey. So the community extends beyond just right here, you know, where we typically would sell our honey at. And, with our hot honey, we've got into Lost Pizza Company actually has our honey that they use. We make the hot honey that Lost Pizza uses in all, I think it's like 33 or 34 locations that started in Mississippi, you know, but they have locations in Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, one or two in Texas.
I think there's some
And yeah, they do have some in Alabama. They have several in Alabama, and then Arkansas. You know, they've got a new one opening up here in a few weeks in Auburn. Mm-hmm. In Auburn, you know. So, yep. So it's kind of just, you know, what you think is local. You know, sometimes that local niche, it expands because of the familiarity of who you know that's from here that wants to have it there too, you know. So they specifically, the guy that, like I said, that owns Lost Pizzas from Mississippi, and he doesn't live in Mississippi any longer. He actually lives in Florida, but he wanted Mississippi honey for all of the pizza that they have in all of the Lost Pizza locations. You know?
You know, and it's interesting you're talking about local and all of those local connections. You know, with the grocery store being in downtown, you know, there is a big push to support those local businesses.
Correct.
You know, is this kind of that way for you to still be able to do that with Lost Pizza Company, with Sincerely?
Absolutely. You know, I always, I consider us as still to be a family-owned business, and all these other locations like Sincerely Grocery is not major corporately owned. You know, I mean, you can still have a corporation that's still family-owned, but in the sense it's not shareholder-owned. It's not, you know, owned by an investment firm. You know, and so they tend, the way that I think and the way that they think, we tend to our brainwaves tend to synergize much better than trying to always chase making the most, you know, buying it as low as they can buy it and trying to maximize their profit. You know, it's all about having a quality product that people are going to like, people are going to want to have time and time again, and you know, and hopefully have longevity for relationships over the long haul.
Very well worded. All right, I have a sidebar question. You got a lot of products. Do you have a favorite product of what y'all produce that you're like, if you were gonna try one of them, this is the one that you have to try, kind of thing?
So my preference as far on the creamed honey is always going to be the cinnamon creamed honey.
Okay.
It's just my personal preference. We have cinnamon, we have chocolate, we have plain, and we also have pecan. Cinnamon, you know, you put it on a hot biscuit or a fresh piece of toast or something like that. I mean, it turns it into a cinnamon roll. The pecan tastes a lot like a pecan praline, and the chocolate kind of tastes, I don't know, kind of tastes a little bit like chocolate, you know, kind of like maybe chocolate syrup or something like that, but, you know, it's spreadable. I definitely like our hot honey, you know, I definitely like our hot honey. If I had to recommend a way to eat our hot honey, I love it on pizza. It's really good on pizza. I'm not going to sit here and tell you a story otherwise. It is really good on just pepperoni pizza.
All right, sounds good.
Simple pizza.
Easy breezy. Is there anything else you want to add in there before we start recording?
Not that I know of.